Welcome to Trinity Coaches, where we're about to go live.
Welcome to Trinity Coaches. Now, Jenny, did you hear this time in the intro song, New York City? Did you hear it? Oh my gosh, I keep telling you, every time I hear that, I get so energized, right? It's like,
Actually, I think I do, to be honest. Yes. I think
he
I
does.
can pull it out the way that you have.
Yeah, in every time I hear that, in this moment, I'm repping New York City. That's how it says it. Oh my gosh. Well, welcome everyone to Trinity Coaches. We are here again with another clarity letter that is really, really juicy. For those who are joining us for the first time, we are 3 coaches. We offer 3 perspectives and we give 1 solution. One of the main features of our program is the clarity letter, and we have our audience, people who are following us, people who are just connecting with us. They submit a letter to us where they're having an issue and they need some guidance or some coaching through it. And we use this platform to add a voice to that letter to give our perspective and offer a solution. And we also use this platform to bring awareness to life coaching and how impactful having a coach can be to your life. We are forward moving. We are progressive. We are definitely women who are here to support you and coach you through your life and whatever is going on. Genoa Melissa, my sister, she helps you to create your lifestyle. Liana, who will be joining us shortly, she's definitely going to self-care you through whatever situation you have going on, where you learn to prioritize yourself. And your girl, I help working mothers. I help them to work through burnout. So I am the burnout prevention coach, and I'm all about helping my working mamas. I'm one too, and yeah. So my focus is on women just like me. So let's catch up, Jenny. What's going on?
Well, I just celebrated my 50th birthday.
Hey, happy birthday!
I am so excited. I'm feeling fresh and I'm feeling brand new. Yeah, 49 plus 1. That's me. But other than that, I've been going through some changes this year, 2021, and I will talk to you guys about that later. But just know that through all the hard times, through all the tribulations, there's an easy way out. Sometimes you have to sit back, you have to calm down, you have to figure your way through, or sometimes you have to depend on your closest friends. And my closest friends happen to be life coaches and they have helped me along the way. But 2021 has been a great year, aside from all the craziness that's been going on in my life, and I'll tell you more about that later. But first, we want to get to this clarity letter because we've had this lady on hold now for what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's been about that.
It's been about 2 weeks. We wasn't live the last show was what, the first week of
I
August.
think,
We didn't go
yeah.
live.
Oh my
But
God.
we're going live today and we don't want to hold her up. We want to give her answers to her question. So, what do you think, Tara? We should go ahead on with the clarity letter?
Yeah, we can get started with it.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
I'm going to read it today.
All
And it
right.
reads, my grown children won't leave home. Dear coaches, I'm feeling burdened and taken advantage of by my children who are grown. I have four boys and two girls, and they range in age from 18 to 35, and they all live at home. The 18-year-old I'm cool with, but they refuse to leave home. The boys have children, but my girls do not. Sometimes my home is filled with grandchildren, and it's hard to keep my place in order. I'm fed up. They do not pay bills consistently, and they do not contribute like they should. I want to retire and live by myself. I've done my best for these children, but it's time for them to go. How do I get these grown-ups out of my home?
Kick them
Tara,
out. Just kick them out. Change the
girl.
locks. Change
Mm,
the but seriously, there's a lot going on there in that letter. Um, wow, grown children, all six of them living under the same roof. So we have seven grown-ups, same roof. And she said her grandchildren come by or something. She made mention of grandchildren.
yes.
So we have a lot of individuals in the home. And that means individual personalities. It means individual, people's habits. It means, just a whole lot of moving parts that's happening under the same roof. And because we're dealing with grown-ups, right? So now it's a different relationship. As the mom, she is in a different power position because if they were kids, you could just tell them what to do, like go to bed, go to sleep, do the dishes, mop the floor. As grown-ups, she like the power is shifting even though it's her home. So there's a lot for her to unpack in that environment. That's a lot. I'll say that. So, mom, if you're on with us and you're listening or you catch us on the replay, just a bit of encouragement. You are doing phenomenal. You are really doing the best. You're going above and beyond because you've raised your kids, right? But now you're offering them a home, a roof over their head during a time where they should be able to do it for themselves because they're grown. The fact that their homes also suggests that something has happened, or something is happening that kind of prevents them from springboarding to that adulting space. So you are doing a phenomenal job. I definitely want to encourage you, and to, clap for you that you're really doing more than enough, right? I know it's stressful, but you're definitely doing more than enough. The body of the letter, though, screams lack of boundaries. It screams lack of respect. It screams a whole lot about people pleasing. And what it's saying to me as a coach, you don't have boundaries in place to protect your time, your space, your energy. So there's some questions that I would really want to ask you, aside from you being their mom, right? Because that's never going to change. But what other factors are coming into play here that's causing you to feel a sense of, I must do this, or this is what I need to do? And really kind of sit with the idea of, am I helping or am I enabling? Right? I really want you to dig into that. Help and or enable. If you are helping them, what boundaries do you have around that help? Is it help forever? Is it help for 6 months? Is it help for, like, what are the boundaries around that help? And what does that help really entail? It sounds like you're really like managing, not only providing a roof, but you're also providing the finances behind that. So do they not have any responsibility? Right? And as grown children, and let's just bump off the word children, as grown-ups, there is a responsibility factor that comes into play, right? As grown-ups, we are responsible for our lives, and that means our well-being, right? That means the roof over your head, the food that you eat, just your day-to-day living. Like, what is their responsibility to that component of their lives? And what is causing you to feel like you must add that added help? You must pack on that extra to their lives. So this whole bit for me, it's just boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Mom, you need boundaries around your time. You're like, who's cleaning the house? If that's you, that's crazy to me. But again, no judgment zone, right? Um, the home must get cleaned somehow, but can that be a shared responsibility? If they're living in the house, they're not paying any bills, can they share the responsibility of taking care of the home? Right? Who's doing the dishes, the laundry, and everything else? I mean, are you really washing the drawers of grown men and women? I mean, I hate to say it like that, but the fact is, the truth is the truth. So boundaries, Mom, you need some boundaries. And with the people pleasing aspect of it, again, it feeds into not having boundaries, which is going to feed into overwhelm, and unaddressed overwhelm leads to burnout. You're going to burn out trying to help your children. And that's not where you want to be. So why are you saying yes to all of the things that they're asking you to do? You've already said yes to letting them come in the house. Okay, so they're there. But why are you saying yes to not sharing the bills? Why are you saying yes to not sharing the responsibilities and the upkeep of the home? Why are you saying yes to things that are not serving you? Right? Again, this is going to end up where you crash and burn, where you have resentment, feelings of anger, and really sadness. And I really also, the last thing I'll touch on here is the emotional component of this, right? How are you feeling? You've raised these adult children, they're adults, you've raised them, children who've been in your care, and they're now adults, and they seem to be having a very difficult time kind of managing life on their own. Well, how does that make you feel? I really want to dig into the emotional components of that. What do you feel when you look at each one of them? You have 6 children. Was it 6, Jenny's?
Yeah.
6 kids, right? You have
Going
6
to.
grown children. How are you feeling? And just based on the emotional work that I've done in this space, the word sadness and disappointment and frustration, these are the emotional impact that's coming up for me as I'm reading your letter. But I would want you to give your own voice to your emotions. What are you feeling through this process? And once you can get to the root of the emotions, right, a lot of the other things will fall into place. The people pleasing will check itself because you've attached the real emotions. You've attacked it. I'm sorry, not attached. You've attacked the real emotions. You've gotten to the root of it, and you've dealt with that. You've done the underwork of what's causing you to not have boundaries and just say yes to things that aren't really serving you. And I really hope you're tuning in and you're here with us so that you can get this raw live feedback. But you need some boundaries. You need to do some emotional intelligence work, and you need to check the people pleasing. Those are the areas that are really coming up for me as I'm kind of, going through what you wrote in. And a real quick fix, change the locks, put them out. So that's my take on this letter, Jenny. I'll pass it over to you. I think Leanna is coming in.
I'm on. My camera's not working today, so I'm just here to be verbal.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't see me, but I'm cute. I promise I am.
Someone is asking if anyone can play something in the chat about the letter. Yes. For those who are on live with us, definitely chime in. We want to hear your feedback because, again, this is a space of collaboration and feedback. This is what we're all about. We want to help each other grow and become better than when we came in. So please, let's discuss it. Jump in. I'll monitor the chat, Jenny.
Okay. I think Leanna wanted to speak about the letter.
I just got here. I already got to speak on the letter. Okay. Okay. So, I did read the letter, and I first want to say I agree with everything that Tara is saying because boundaries are very, very, very important. But it's hard to set boundaries when you are someone who always wants to please everyone and make everyone happy. It sounds like she's a kind of mother who's always been the dependent. So all the kids have always depended on her to do everything, to supply everything, to do everything for her. And with that, she's never set boundaries, which is why they're grown, 18 to 35, and still living at home because she's never set boundaries. She's never told them by the time you're 18, I'm gonna need you to go on and, live your life outside of mine. And, she's never set that up. And that is something that is definitely needed. She needs to sit down, have a whole round table discussion, her and her children, and say, hey, Mama's ready to retire. Mama's ready to live her life. And I'm ready to downsize my home. And you guys have to learn to get on your own. It's time. You need to go. I know when I was a teenager, my father said something to me, and I've always kept that with me. He said, when you get old enough to go on your own, which I hope is when you go off to college, you either have to fly or you'll fall. He said, but I've done my part. You've been the bird. I've done everything I was supposed to get you to where you are. So when I let you go, you're going to either fly or fall. And so this is what she's going to have to do. She's going to have to push her kids. They're going to either fly or fall. You've put everything that you could put into them to invest what you did. You've done everything overly and abundantly for your children as a mother. So they can't do that. And you have a life to live. You are able to live a life. You're supposed to live a life outside of your kids, especially when you're grown. And that's what all us parents look forward to. When your kids get 18, listen, I got a 17-year-old, and baby, I was like, what do the college have housing? So you can go, baby. Because listen, my kids know. When you grow, when you get out of high school, I did my part. I got you through all the years of school. Now it's time for you to fly. So this was a conversation that I feel as a mother, she probably should have been having with them in their younger years. And if they're not helping pay a bill, I mean, if you're staying with me and you're not contributing financially, so you're just making sure I have to do everything, that's very selfish and self-centered. But like I said, this is a discussion that she's going to have with them. And she might be fearful of having that because we don't know the dynamics of that kind of relationship with them as well. So she may be fearful of having that conversation because she doesn't know what the reaction is going to be. And if she feels that it's a reaction that's going to be something that's going to be harmful or against her safety, then I advise that she, maybe do it in public or see if you can have the police close by, anything. But this is a conversation that is needed. You're going to have a talk with these children. They're not children. They're adults.
Yeah.
You need to have a talk with these adults and let them know I've done my part. I can't do any more, and cut them off. I mean, or if you're capable, move into an apartment for you. And then, then there you have it. I don't know if you own your house, but you're wanting to downsize, so move. That's also an option. Move. It's simple. But be like, okay, you know what? Y'all don't want to leave me. I'm gonna leave y'all. Hey, So yes, that's kind of my part on this. But yeah, I think that this was a conversation that should have been had when they were younger, to prepare them for when you get to this age. It helps.
Yeah, totally agree with that. She really should have had the conversation before now. And that's part of why, I'm encouraging her to really dig into the emotions, do some emotional intelligence work, definitely connect with either one of us or any one of us, to go through, just the coaching process, because you definitely, I would recommend here, get a coach.
Yes, I would too. And even with my coaching, she needs to build her confidence, because if she's fearful of things with her kids, then hey, I'm here to help you with your confidence levels. Can get you learning to love you and look into you, then you can get your confidence going, so that you can be like, I'm standing my ground. You can do this, because hey, when you come working with me, we're going to learn how to set boundaries, baby. People not going to like you, but it's for you.
Yeah.
My clients said all the time, people are not going to like you because you setting them boundaries that they don't want to do. You haven't had these boundaries all this time. And now you setting a boundary. Now you're trying to tell me I can't do something a certain way. Yeah, they're not going to like you.
Right.
But it's for you. So when it's for you and the betterment of you, then you just have to accept them not liking you for that moment. It'll be okay. They'll get over it.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing about people pleasing and not having the boundaries and just saying yes to everything, saying yes to everything is not going to make people like you. It's just going to make them use you.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So yeah, lady, you need a coach.
Well, I'm just going to break this letter down, because I'm the only one of us three who have adult children. Okay?
Yes, you are.
So I'm going to break this down, because I have 3 adult children. I have a daughter that's 28. I have a 33, and I have a 30-year-old. I don't like me.
Girl, you won't look old enough to have no kids. That
Look,
old.
I don't like them, and they know I don't like them. Okay. Kids are different, okay? They're not the same, as when I was a kid or other kids. This new millennial, I don't like them. They're different, okay? I couldn't live with them, okay?
Different.
So I'm gonna break it down. My grown children will not leave home. Ain't nothing grown about your children.
That's right.
There you go.
There is not anything grown about your children, because we all know that when you're grown, there comes responsibility.
Yes.
Okay. There comes paying bills. They're not paying not one bill. They're not paying rent. They're not paying the light bill. Are they taking out the trash? Are they even doing that?
Probably
And
not.
then,
She got a sink
then
full
you
of dishes.
then you have grandkids in the picture. Thank God it's the boys. And I hate to say it, boys don't bring grandbabies home. Girls do. So,
but who are we to say that the girlfriend's not staying there with the boys, with the grandkids?
Yeah, but the letter don't say that, because she said
True.
sometimes. She
Yeah.
said sometimes. I have 4 boys, 2 girls, and they range in the age of. They refuse to leave home, but then she said sometimes my home is filled with grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads me to assume they don't live there.
Yeah.
Or you might have some and not all living there. That's too much. That is just too much. They're not grown, honey. They're still children, and you are indeed enabling your children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing that. Your kids nor you at this point are taking responsibility.
Yeah.
But you're asking for help. And again, like Tara said, this is a no judgment zone. None. But I had to kick my kid out. You know what I mean? Like, I had to kick him out because We're different. He wanted to go out and be out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm a homebody. I don't want you coming in my house at 3 o'clock in the morning, disrupting my dog's sleep. Because now I gotta wake up in the middle of the night because I made the damn dog mad. You know what I mean? I don't like that. You know, I had to make him uncomfortable. No, your girlfriend can't spend the night. Absolutely not. I had to make him uncomfortable. He didn't want to live with me. So you have to make them uncomfortable.
Yes.
You have them way too comfortable. If you can
Yep.
go to work and work 8 to 10 hours a day and come home and your kids are just hanging around, all your adult kids are just hanging around and not doing anything, not paying any bills, I'm assuming they don't work. Assuming that they don't work. And if they do work and they're just sitting around the house and not doing anything and not helping you pay bills, these are not grown children. Just stop saying, just call them your kids.
Yeah.
Okay? Stop saying grown children. They're your kids. You're maturing. Okay?
Honestly, they just well, they can't even be roommates because they don't even pay bills or
They
pay
don't.
bills.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, if I had to do it, because some parents do have to do that with their adult children for whatever reason, we have to work as a team. You should
Mm-hmm.
not have to come home from work and have to cook. You
Right.
have women and
Your
young
meal
men
should
in that
already
house
be
that can
prepared.
cook. Exactly. You should not have to come home and clean. If you
Mm-hmm.
just
Not
want
with 6 adults in the house.
I know.
exactly.
I
And if
know.
you're the only one working, well, if you're the only one working, you have to pay the rent, huh? Or you have to pay the mortgage. But it
Right.
shouldn't even be a case where you have 6 adult children in the house and no one else is working.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's not help. That's totally enabling.
That's exactly what it is. At the end, she said, how do I get these grown-ups out of my home? I promised before Deanna said, I said, move. That was my answer. Like, I would pick up and move.
Yeah.
Seriously. I'm
I
sure
would.
that her
That's,
peace, she don't have a peace of mind. She don't have
she
a moment
doesn't.
to herself. I'm
Right.
almost positive she don't have a moment to herself.
And she said the 18-year-old is fine. She's okay with that child. So get you a 2-bedroom apartment. I
Right.
mean, if that's the case, get room for just you and the one child that you're willing to take with you, and then go. And,
But
Mhm.
and leave them with the house, because then when you're not there, then those fallen responsibilities fall on them, and then they'll be looking like, what are we supposed to do?
right.
But then
No
you
one,
have to set
no one
boundaries in
gets
your new
no one
space.
gets key to the new house or the new
Right.
apartment. No one
You
gets
have to
that's
set
it.
boundaries for the new space. You
Exactly.
can't come, you can't spend the night, you can't even sit here in here good.
Yeah.
What you want, what you need. I don't have nothing extra for you.
Yeah. It's
My kids will tell you, my mama love us, but she don't like us, and I've been telling them that all their life. I promise. We've been discussing what you gonna do when you graduate from high school ever since they was in elementary school. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like those discussions has to be had. They need to be aware of the fact that I can't live with mama. And they
Right.
need to not like me. My kids don't like me. They don't want
Exactly.
to live with me.
They don't.
You know?
I don't. You're not my friend. But that's the whole thing. And that's why I say I've been having this discussion. Like I said, my 17-year-old graduate. He's a senior this year. Today was the first day of senior year, and baby, I've been cheerleading ever since. And every time he tell me about a new school, I say, do they have on-campus living? Because I think it'll be good for you to have college life experience. Yeah, you
Mhm.
got to go. One down, 2 more to go. And I've been telling my kids this since they were young. So they all know. I be counting down years. Okay, I got 1 year left with you. I got 3 years left with you. I got
Let
5
it
years
be
left.
known. Let it
Baby,
be known,
I
sis.
already know.
my son is 11. Okay. I'm gonna be stuck in this. He's living with me for a minute. Cause listen,
Hey,
that
but I
Let me
already
tell
put
you
in
what
their
I
minds.
pulled
Look,
on my youngest son. My youngest son decided he wanted to stay in Albany. I was trying to move myself back to Atlanta. And I was staying in Albany for a while, and he was there with me. He was 18 maybe. And he was like, I'm gonna stay in Albany. You can go ahead and move. I'm gonna live with my friend and I'm gonna go to Albany State and all this. I went, took him to the school, filled out paperwork, got my little moving truck, had them go pick up my stuff from my house while I was in Macon, because I had to go to Macon before I could move back to Atlanta. So the truck showed up at the house, and my friend said, yeah, the truck is here. They're loading up. I was like, great. I'm in Macon. I'm waiting for the truck to arrive. This boy jumps off the damn truck. like, we already had this squared away. You staying with a friend, you're not coming to make it. He jumps off the truck. Now I got an apartment for my daughter and myself. That's it. 2 bedroom. He comes out with a box. I'm like, well, where I'm gonna stay at? Boo, I don't know. We didn't have this discussion. You got 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks to figure out what you're gonna do with your life, and it's not gonna be living with your mama.
That's right.
He
And that's
enrolled. That's right. He
the
enrolled in Atlanta
example of
Art Institute.
boundaries.
That
That's
next week
right.
he was enrolled in Atlanta Art Institute, and that's where he went to school. Because I was not playing. I don't like you like that. You different. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but that's the perfect example of boundaries. You
Yeah.
set boundaries in place, you know, and that's what's missing from this letter, where this parent is still parenting grown-ups, and without there are no boundaries here. There's
Yep.
no
And
boundaries.
obviously, I feel like that maybe there's some guilt there. For some reason, she
Yeah.
don't want to speak up.
Mhm.
For some reason, she wants to cater to them and make their
Right.
life easier.
That's
And we don't know what that stemmed from. It could be
right.
something that
Right.
happened as a child when she was a child. Maybe she didn't have a family member to stand up and be there for her, and she feels a certain type of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
she's been a single parent for so long, and she's feeling guilty about something there. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
yeah, you need to talk to somebody, babe, because they are definitely taking advantage of you.
They definitely
Absolutely.
are. They're
Absolutely.
gonna continue as long as you allow them.
As long
Mhm.
as she
And
allows
what
it
are you
to
teaching
happen.
your 18-year-old? Your 18-year-old sees this.
So all
And
he sees is he probably has no intentions of moving.
of
Like,
course not.
I've been talking about this for so long. My daughter said when she graduates, she moving to Florida because she trying to get away from me. See, that's how bad. That's how you have it. You set it up where they want to run away from you because they be like, nope, I don't want to be around her.
Yeah.
Well, she ready to run away. She like, I'm going to Florida, mama. And I actually told her, I said, well, you know what they say? Usually when your kids leave, you get separation anxiety and you move closer to your kids. She said, don't.
Oh my gosh.
But see, she's letting you know. She's letting you know now
She's
as well. So
setting her boundaries. She's
she's got her
Exactly.
boundaries in place.
the boundaries work on both sides of the fence.
Exactly. It does. And I
Exactly.
respect that. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. We
So
definitely
Lav Hall says my family member moved out and let them stay there. I know that's right, Lav.
That's right.
Boo boy. This is
And that's
not
why
the
I said that
Underground
is a good
Railroad.
answer. I say move because honey, they if they can't do anything with you, why they can't do anything for themselves while you're there, then make
right
it even harder for them and move. So then they have to be forced to do something for themselves.
for themselves. And the moving is an immediate fix to the physical situation, right?
It is.
And she'll move and she'll be out of that space. However, if she does not work on the emotional stuff, right? She's
Yeah.
gonna take them same bad habits. The kid's gonna move into the 2-bedroom apartment that she just moved into.
Yeah.
Because then she'll start feeling guilty, and then the
Right.
kids will start
And
giving
they're
her guilt trips
obviously
and
manipulative.
resentment, and it'll be a
Yeah.
whole lot of stuff there that she'll have to work through because they're gonna make her feel bad about it. They're gonna be like, you just up and left and moved away, and then left us here, and we don't have no idea. But
And
she's
think
gonna have
about
to do that.
From the other, so moving, right? She moves. Now you have to take the utilities out of your name and all the other bills, because if your credit is on the hook, that's a problem. That's a problem. So there's a lot to consider there. Moving definitely solves the physical situation for sure, because she'll be out of the space. But I guarantee you, those kids will be right on top of her in that 1-bedroom apartment. Somebody sleeping in the kitchen, somebody living on the balcony, somebody in the refrigerator, somebody on the couch. The kids are going to be all over that space. Somebody on the bathroom floor. It's because she feels, as Jenny said, she feels guilty. There's something there. There are emotions tied so deep in how she's operating. She's operating from a space of, it's guilt. It's definitely that mindset, that limiting beliefs. There's so much there that she should unpack emotionally. to kind of get out of this space.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to this person
Yeah.
one-on-one. I really
Yeah.
would. I would love to know more about, what the issues really are, because we're
Exactly.
just scratching the surface at this
The
point. We don't
surface.
know,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
obviously something happening there. Something
Yeah.
emotional.
It's a lot of stuff that's deeply rooted that she didn't put in the letter.
Mhm.
Yeah. Di says, not too bad and all those kids. You're right. She's gonna move right into another place with how many ever bedrooms? 6 bedrooms, 7, because she need one for herself.
If she got that, she might be sleeping
She
on the
might
couch.
be on the couch, right? That's it too. That's it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So, Mom, I hope you're here with us or you catch the replay, because I think the focus really, it's definitely going to be actionable items that need to happen surrounding setting boundaries, kind of checking, the backstory and the back emotions, those deep rooted issues, and kind of really sitting with these, not even kind of, but really sitting with yourself to understand what's really happening here. Why did I allow it to happen for this long? And what's your cutoff? Even start there, right? Get a piece of paper. Like, this has to end by December. We're approaching the last quarter of the year. Like, set a limit, cut it off. When are you going to draw the line in the sand? That's urgent, very urgent decision that has to be made if you want it to be changed, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And my last little tidbit, make it uncomfortable. Make it uncomfortable. They want you to do the
Yeah.
laundry. Add bleach to your color clothes. Make it
Jenny, that's you
make it
nuts.
uncomfortable, and just stand there and make a face.
Right. Dare them to say something. Dare them to say, Mama, why you bleach my
Right.
clothes?
Go crazy one day. You know what I mean? Just do something crazy. Just they don't make them not want to be with you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Make them uncomfortable. Walk out naked one day. Just come through, just naked.
For sure.
Uncomfortable.
You sure right, because they'll be like, what is she doing? Oh my God, Mama, I don't want to see your body like that.
I know. Oh my gosh.
So, like, this is my house. I come out naked if I want to. When they good and sleep, wake up the dog. You wake up the dog.
Turn the radio on loud.
Right, loud. First thing in the morning, Saturday morning, nobody sleeps in. Nobody.
Yep. Nobody.
That's right. You make as much noise as you can. I mean, you have the right. You pay all the bills. You keep the house clean. So why not? Make it uncomfortable, like you said. Open the door, slam the door, make it too hot, make it too cold. I mean, you guys to do whatever you guys to do
to get them out. To get them out. Yeah. By the end of the year, by December, by October, like put a time frame, and between now and then, do all them things. Come out naked, bleach their clothes, turn the radio on. That's hilarious. Listen, but whatever works, right? Get them out. Or just change the locks. Just change the locks, lady. Change the locks.
Yeah, that's an option as well.
Yeah. Drop some eviction papers, serve them.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
They probably not gonna like you, but it's okay.
It's okay.
It's be liked.
Yeah.
And that's probably another thing. She's probably her kids' friend, and that's also another issue.
That is a problem.
Within itself.
Yeah, that's a topic for a whole nother day.
It is.
Why we should not be friends with our children.
That's right. And I've been telling my kids that since they could understand. I am not your friend. And so we don't have that problem either.
Yeah, I tell my son that as well. Like, I'm not your friend. Don't even play with me like that.
Right. Right.
Don't even play with me like that. It was fun. The other day I was taking him to his soccer. They had a little soccer picnic because they're the champions, and they had a little thing for the kids. And we were in the car and I saw this couple on a motorcycle and I'm like, oh my gosh, Micah, I would be so scared. And just as I said that, the bike did like a dip, they're going around the curve and it looked like he was like so close to the ground, and I'm like, oh my God. I said, would you be scared? That kid said, oh my gosh, Mom, I'd be so scared. I'd piss my pants. I almost ran off the damn. I said, wait, what? Dude, what? Don't you dare say. He was like, Mom, no, I'm not. It's just an expression. I'm like, dude, not an expression for an 11-year-old. Like, I'm not your friend. Don't talk to me like that. Right. Don't you dare talk to me like that. And of course, he thought I was crazy. He was like, why? I'm like, no, don't you dare talk to me like that. Absolutely not. So,
and it's funny that you say that because I'm 50 years old and my mom don't hear me talking the way I would talk around amongst my friends, like curse words and stuff. I still say darn and dog and shoot around my mother,
right?
Out of respect. Now, if I was talking to one of my friends or something, I might say another few choice words, but because of my respect for my mom or any elderly person, I just don't talk that way.
Yeah.
So, but it's different for kids now. Now, my kids don't talk to me that way either.
Yeah.
But it's just so different. It's so, I don't understand this.
That's the new millennials you was talking about.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I really don't. We're not friends.
I was just having a conversation. I was just having a conversation over this past weekend with my uncle, and we were talking about these new kids and how they are and how disrespectful they are. And I was reading something that said like they saw some kids at a bus stop and they was cussing, and it was an older lady sitting there and they had no respect for her, and I was like, in our times growing up, you wouldn't dare.
You wouldn't dare.
Because it was just the respect, and you don't know who know your mama. And if you get back to your mama or your daddy, then you was scared. That was the fear of the community. Right. These kids nowadays don't have that.
Right. Yeah. Well, we don't have community for one. I mean,
that's true.
You live next door to your neighbors, and you won't know their names. You won't know anything about them. So we don't have community anymore either. So
that's true.
That's it right there.
Because I can't say that because I live in a neighborhood with a whole lot of retired people. And so I know everybody and they know me. When I'm going and doing, they already know all the business. They be like, okay, now what days did you say you was going to be gone, Leanna? Okay, we'll watch the house for you. So I don't even have to have ADT because they are my ADT.
I used to live in a house when I had a neighbor like that. But since I moved on the other side of Atlanta, I just get out my car and walk on in the house.
Yeah, on my block, we're pretty neighborly. It's a short dead end, and we are pretty neighborly. At least the houses on the closer down to the end of the road. So we do have that sense of community and neighborhood watch kind of thing. The neighborhood watch being my husband and the neighbor across the street. But at least we know what's going on. And they do, if Mike is going up the street and he's gone too far, the neighbor will call him back. So it does take a village. And
it does.
Yeah.
But they don't have that anymore. I mean, it's just something they don't have anymore.
Definitely missing. It's definitely missing.
But I appreciate my neighborhood. That's probably why I don't want to move, because I love my neighbors. Matter of fact, my neighbor, he had a heart attack. And his wife let us know, and she was like, so we'll be at the hospital for a few days. Please watch the house. But baby, I work. But I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to do the best I can. So listen, this Ring camera going to have to do all it need to do for helping watch your house too.
Yeah. Well, we are coming up close to our time. But I wanted to kind of circle back to the reality that the summer's winding down. Not only the summer's winding down, the end of the year is almost here. We're approaching the last quarter of the year. Kids are going back to school. Leanne, I know your kids are back in school.
Woo,
And
thank you, God. My refrigerator did a praise dance this morning.
well, let's talk a little bit about that transition because a lot of parents are dealing with kids going back to school. We are coming out of a space, some of us are still in that work from home space and trying to just figure out the transition. Kids going back to school, kind of balancing that extra thing. Let's spend some time kind of giving voice to that.
All right. Sounds good.
How did you handle the last week or two, kind of getting them prepared and yourself prepared for school?
So I'm not going to lie. I waited till the last minute because I was praying that they said we was going virtual because I am so fearful of the cases of COVID that's spreading now that these kids are in school. And I saw an article about a school in Florida, and then I saw something about a school in Mississippi, and all these cases are spreading and getting bigger. So I was like, God, please let my school district say we're going virtual. Well, they didn't go virtual. So 2 days before school started, I was out school shopping, buying supplies and clothes. There was hardly nothing left, but I did that. So that was like a stress part for me. My kids were already prepared because we talk about going back to school a lot because me and my refrigerator and my bank account, we couldn't wait. So, I've been talking about it a lot. We went to open houses because my middle son is a freshman. So we went to freshman orientation, and that was exciting to get to see the teachers, for him to get familiar with the high school now. And then my daughter is in 8th grade. So even though she's familiar with the school, we just went so she could meet the teachers, and that was nice, and see who's possibly in her class and all that. So it was really a good time. And I'm one of those involved parents. Like, I tell the teachers, whatever you need, call me. And as soon as you tell my kids to call me, they'll probably stop doing whatever they are doing, because that's the kind of parent I am. They know I'm going to call your mama. Please don't. Because, they don't want me to come, nor do they want to talk to me on the phone.
Yeah.
But mentally, my daughter was anxious because she just didn't know. My youngest son wasn't too anxious. He was just going with the flow. My oldest is excited because it's senior year, so everything is just, he's the big dog, so he don't really care. And me, mentally, I'm just like, okay, I'm going with the flow. I'm trying to just, be there for them and their emotions at this time. But I'm good. I mean, I'm going on my solo trip this weekend, so I wasn't worried about these kids. I was like, y'all look great.
And you're headed to Florida, right?
No, I'm going to Texas.
Oh, that's right. You're going to Texas.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to Florida on your solo trip next year.
That's my birthday trip.
Gotcha.
And that's right around the corner. February is right around the corner.
I know, right? And I can't wait. I'm be on somebody beach.
All right now.
With the sand between my toes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I went the opposite direction than you, Leanna, with planning for school. Because I need him to go back. I cannot do another year of remote school, plus working, plus running a business, plus all of the other things. He's going back to the classroom. So uniform and shoes and everything, supplies, all that was bought by the middle of July. I'm ready. They're already ironed. Everything is all set for September 8th for him to go back. I am ready. And I do share, the concerns of the COVID cases. But I will say his school did a pretty good job of keeping the kids safe last year. So at least if they do the same thing, follow the same process, they tested it last year and they were fine. They fared well. So I'm hoping for the same kind of result in terms of keeping the kids safe and the COVID protocols, and just kind of staying very vigilant in protecting the school and the student body.
Right.
So he's going back.
Oh, I wanted them to go back. I told you.
In the class.
I couldn't wait till they went back. I was like, "Woo, thank you, God!" My refrigerator, and we did a whole dance in the kitchen. We had a whole pep talk because my refrigerator was like it was tired of it getting open and closed, and every time it turned around, it was taking something out. They was eating everything.
Right.
I
Yeah.
can't. Yes.
I hear you. But definitely, planning and just kind of getting things in place
Mm-hmm.
before the actual time to go back and using this time, the last few weeks before and some are already back. Like your kids are back in New York. We don't go back until at least Micah's school. He's not going back till the Wednesday after Labor Day. So we still have a little bit of time. But use this time to kind of enjoy the remaining weeks of the summer and get things in place, whatever is needed. I know schools, like the supply list is like pages long, like 3-4 pages. Like, why do these kids need all these supplies? So even pulling that together is a whole, couple of hours at Walmart or wherever you shop for supplies. And the earlier you get that stuff done, the easier the transition will be. Easier. It's not going to be easy, but it will definitely add some benefit to have things mapped out. So day one, you know exactly what you're doing. Everything's already sorted out. And as Leanna said, let the teacher know, call you. If anything, call you. Let the kids act right.
Right.
Well, I
They
commend
already.
you both of being parents that are there for the schools, and because a lot of parents aren't that way. They drop their
Yeah.
kids off and they don't see their kids again till the kids make it home. So I commend you
Mhm.
both for being excellent parents and involved with the schools and the teachers. And I don't have any little people at home, so I didn't have to uh decide if how I felt about my children going back to school, but I honestly did not want my grandchildren to go back to school. But then I have to think about the parents, which are my children, because they are working parents and they had to adjust a lot in
Mhm.
2020. In
Mhm.
early 2021, having kids at home and trying to make sure they're getting their work done and trying to
Right.
hold down their jobs um
Mhm.
and actually, a couple of the ladies, the moms, they still had to work. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
was it was just really, really hard. And I don't mean work at home, but they still had to leave home and go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the kids were home by themselves with a laptop and a teacher, and you know how kids are. So I understand that they may have wanted their kids to go back to school, but I am just so afraid of COVID. I am petrified of COVID because now this new strain, children are
Yeah.
contracting
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
virus,
Yeah.
So those are my big concerns. And just today, one of my Facebook friends posted about a friend of hers is a bus driver for an elementary or middle school. And she has COVID. She tested positive Friday for COVID.
Mm.
Mm.
The school said that it's okay, you can still come to work.
What?
No
Yes,
way.
yes. So
How?
it's just
Isn't
stuff
that
like that
against
that scares me. You know, I
isn't
They
that
find
they
against
so desperate
CDC
for bus
guidelines?
drivers that they gonna make her go to work.
I just saw the post,
Wow.
and it's just crazy to me, and
That is
then you have
crazy.
people that are faking the ID, the little card that you get. So there's people that's faking that. They're purchasing them to
The
prove that they're
vaccination cards?
vaccinated. Yeah.
Mm.
Like, it's just crazy. It's a crazy time, and of course, I want everybody to make the best decisions for themselves, but I really wish my kids were home.
Yeah.
Hell, I wish
Yeah.
I could be home with them. I would love to stay home with my grandkids and teach them, but I can't do that either. So I can't
Yeah.
make a big fuss about it, but at the same time, I really wish they weren't back in school. And mine went back to school a little over a week ago.
I understand that. I mean,
I
I
get it.
realized 2020 taught me that it taught me which one of my kids would would go do well in virtual and which ones would suffer.
Yeah.
So my oldest and my youngest suffers for virtual learning. My middle son, he does just fine.
Mhm.
But the other two have to be in person. And so for their betterment of education, I knew that they had to go back because in person was better for them. And for my middle, I just wanted him to be able to continue to have his socialization skills because he was withdrawing being able to do virtual. So it's a whole lot of pluses and it's a whole lot of negatives with this. And plus, I mean, me working, and I worked the whole pandemic, I was in the community because that's my job. I work with the homeless. I work with the mental health. So I worked home and in the community. So I never had a time to just work at home all the time. I was out there in the midst of it, in the middle of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's in my case, my son, he did virtual school from the beginning of the school year in 2020, right? And when we went into that immediate shutdown, they had to transition really quickly. He did it, but he didn't like it. I didn't like it. And for him, being an only child, having that interaction at school with his peers, is very critical. It's definitely a critical component of his development. And it didn't work well from that standpoint. And just, that's an added thing to be responsible for. So it was difficult. So there were days that I forgot lunch. I had to depend on Alexa. Alexa, remind me at 10:15 to make the child's lunch because otherwise I was forgetting lunch. And if I had a meeting, Alexa would still go off and lunch wouldn't get done because Bentley was in a meeting too. And, so
Sorry,
they would.
I don't have an answer.
Yeah, she's talking to me now, Alexa, because I called her name. But it didn't work well for us. We did it, and God bless the parents who were able to do it and do it well. We see you, we hear you, and it's a personal, decision to make, if you're given an option, but just know that, we get it. We know you're doing the best you can with the circumstances that you're forced to exist in, because I don't think COVID's going anywhere, no time soon.
I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon either.
Yeah. We're just going to have to learn to live with it the best we can.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Anything from today? Anybody have anything they want to add or say?
Di said it's child abuse. Something is child abuse. Something we said. She said it's child abuse. She done
It was
died.
probably me. It was probably me. I probably said something. It was probably me.
Yeah. This was a good catch up, a good chat. I enjoyed it every time we get together. And Leanna, I was telling Ginny early on, like whenever I hear that intro song and the guy says it's New York, I'm like pumped. That's what he says. And she admitted.
I agree, because when I listened to it, I went back and listened to it the first time you said that, and he does say New York. I was like, okay, so they represent for Gone Girl. So now we got to do a remix so we can have Atlanta and St. Louis in the books or something.
Okay.
Don't be like that. Y'all don't be like that. Don't be like that. He said
I think we have
New
a
York.
bomb intro, though. Don't y'all think we have a bomb intro?
We
I love it.
do. We do.
I love it.
Yeah, we do.
I
Well,
mean, we are a bomb group of women, so I mean, like, why wouldn't we have a bomb intro?
Absolutely.
totally dope. Totally dope coaches. And we come together every first and third Thursday of the month, and we offer 3 perspectives. You get all 3. You get the creating a lifestyle, you get the working mom issues worked out, you get the looking within worked out, who's bringing to you your self-care. We just work it all out right here, real time. We talk through our clarity letter, and we provide real coaching right here for our audience. Again, we want to normalize coaching for those who may feel, it's not really something that they can do, or they're confusing it with therapy, or perhaps just never really had a feel for what it is. This is the opportunity for you to join us every first and third Thursday of the month. And just rock out with us. We have fun, we laugh, we talk all things women. And again, you can reach out to us individually, or you can connect with us through Trinity Coaches.
Yeah.
What
She
she
summed it
said.
right on up. Everything that she said. We love it here. We love being able to talk with you guys, chat with you guys here. We do go live on our Facebook group, on our Facebook page, as well as on our YouTube channel. So go back and revisit some of our older live streams. They're great. We have a lot of fun here, and we appreciate you all being here tonight.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We hope you come back to see us in 2 weeks.
Yep.
2
We'll be
weeks.
here.
Good
We sure
night.
will.
Bye.